All right. What is going on, everybody? So, I hope everybody's having a fantastic week. I know I sure am. We got some really cool shit coming up on the horizon here. A couple of potential new partnerships, potential new renter at the gym. Honestly, yeah, just like super fucking cool week. A lot of really cool stuff coming up. So very, very happy about that. So as you guys tune in, I'd love to know how your week's going too. So we're going to get into the show in a minute, and we're going to be talking about being sore after a workout. Is it necessary? Is it important? Is it something that you should be striving for? Because obviously that's something that a lot of people seem to think that, if you're not sore after a workout, it's not an effective workout. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that, breaking that down. And on top of that too, like, we're going to be just digging into, actually what the role of soreness is. Is it actually as effective as we think? But before we get into the show, as always, you guys know the deal at this point. The reason we're here is we're here to help athletes. We're here to help athletes reach new levels in their sport. We are here to help athletes level up as people, level up as athletes, level up in every area they need in order to reach the highest possible level, see their true potential, and build the dream career they're looking for. So if you or someone you know is an athlete on the come up looking to make the most of their athletic career, make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're sending this out to a coach, to a teammate, to a friend, to someone else that's going to need to hear this message. So now let's get into the show. We're talking about if you need to be sore after a workout, and we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Elite Development Podcast, the number one show for athletes looking to gain an edge on their opponents and build their dream careers in sport. I'm your host, Kenny Dusseault, and today we are going to be answering a question for you. Do you need to be sore after a workout? Now, the reason that I'm answering this question, the reason I'm talking about this is because this is something that I get asked reasonably often. But more so than that, it's because this is something that I think a lot of athletes are very misguided on. Now, I'm going to preface it by saying being sore after a workout, absolutely not a bad thing. But do you need to chase being sore after a workout? No. Because again, we're talking to athletes here. So if there are, people that are just training to train or whatever, I'm not talking specifically to you. I'm talking to athletes looking to improve performance in the sport. Do you need to chase being sore after a workout? No, you do not. Now, the reason I believe a lot of athletes feel this way is simply because being sore gives you that mental check mark of saying, I'm sore. That means I did enough. So it was a good workout. So, check the box. It was a good workout. I can move on. But you've got to remember that the goal is not make it a hard workout. The goal is not make myself sore. The goal is performing in the sport. So are there going to be days where you should feel sore? Absolutely. You're going to have sessions that are hard. You're going to have sessions that take a lot out of you. And you're going to have sessions that are going to make you sore. But that is not the goal of the training. So don't chase it and don't focus on making sure that you're sore the next day after a session. So why? Why is it not, the thing you need to be chasing? Because again, like I said, the goal is performing in the sport, which means, and this is one of the things I focus on with all of my athletes, you should be able to do our strength and conditioning session and a sport-specific session in the same day without difficulty. Does this mean that all the sessions we do are easy? No, you're still going to push yourself, but you're going to push yourself slightly more every session. And we're working on a lot of things that are going to help you actually reduce soreness on the next day. So by focusing on giving the athlete the best ability to perform, we're not focused on just trying to beat them into the ground. We're focused on progressively overloading what they're doing in the weight room. We're focused on making sure that the plyometric work that they're doing is explosive. The sprints they're doing are explosive, not on just how many sprints can we do, how much weight can we lift, how many jumps can we get in. We're focused on quality, not quantity. And the reason we're focused on quality, not quantity, is because quality is what allows you to perform when you step into the ring or when you step into the cage. If you've done a shit ton of reps through your training camp, but there's no thought as to what those reps look like. There's no thought as to how those reps feel. There's no thought as to what you're trying to translate from, those medicine ball throws, those sprints, those jumps, to how you want to translate that into the cage or into the ring. Then what you're going to get is a very tired athlete that performs suboptimally. But if through the whole training camp, you're focused on make sure that the power is coming from the right places. When you're doing a rotational med ball heave, you're not just focused on heaving the ball, you're focused on generating power from your hip and generating power from your obliques. When you're doing a squat, you're focused not just on how much weight can I lift or how many reps I can do, but you're focused on sitting back into your hips. You're focused on engaging your hamstrings, engaging your glutes. You're going to build stronger, more powerful, more efficient movement patterns that are going to allow you to be more efficient while you actually fight. So again, that is the goal of the training. So do you need to do extra reps to make sure that you're sore the next day? No, you need to focus on the task at hand. And depending on the session, the task at hand changes up a little bit, but focus on the task at hand. Don't focus on being sore the next day. Now, the other thing I really wanted to touch on, because this is super important with this topic, is your conditioning. Because if you are conditioning yourself effectively, then you shouldn't be sore after every training session. Because part of your aerobic system's job within the body is to work through that soreness so that you don't feel it as long and so that you don't feel it as often. So if you are effectively training your aerobic energy system, then you should be able to recover from workouts faster. And if you can recover from workouts faster, you're not going to feel as sore. So if you're stuck in this mindset of needing to chase being sore after every single session, then if your aerobic system is getting better, that's going to mean that much more work before you feel that soreness. And eventually you're spending all your time in the strength and conditioning gym just doing a shit ton of reps of everything, trying to chase that feeling of being sore instead of focusing on what you actually need to focus on, which is performing in the fight or performing in the actual MMA gym or the boxing gym or whatever sport you're training for. So I know that there are going to be some people that listen to that first part, me telling you that, you don't have to be sore for it to be an effective session, and immediately think that somehow I'm telling you not to work hard. So I want to really reinforce it again. Being sore is not a bad thing. I'm not telling you to cut reps so that you don't feel sore. There are going to be days that you're going to feel it. There are going to be sessions that you do that you're going to feel it. But it's not the focus. So yes, push yourself hard. Yes, keep training, keep pushing, keep trying to do more, but keep the goal in mind. If you're finished up a session and you're thinking, man, I should add like an extra burnout set at the end of that session just to like really tire out my legs. Why? What is burning out your legs going to do for you? It's not going to make you that strong. It's not going to make you stronger, because strength training is between 1 to 6 reps as a rule at an 8 to 9 out of 10 RPE. So it's not going to make you stronger because you're just doing a shit ton of reps. It's not going to improve your endurance because we work on that in other ways through our conditioning work, through building proper strength, balancing the strength with the conditioning work. It's not going to make you more powerful because you're not going to move the reps explosively if you're just trying to do as many as you can. So why are you doing it? You're doing it so that you can get that mental check mark to say, well, I'm super sore today, so it must have been a good workout yesterday. But what's that going to do? Then the next day, if you have a boxing session, if you have a MMA session, a jiu-jitsu session, whatever it is, if you're super sore the next day because you hit that super hard burnout set after your squats for some reason, you're not going to get a good boxing session in. And if you don't get a good boxing session in, if you're training for a boxing match, what's going to be more important? You burning out your legs 2 to 3 times a week, or you getting quality boxing sessions in on top of your strength and conditioning? Quality boxing sessions. So keep in mind why. If you're sore from doing the conditioning work that's actually prescribed to you in your program, good. If you're sore because you're adding a bunch of other shit in at the end, bad. You get what I'm saying? Is this all making sense? So basically, to sum it up, guys, the main focus of training should never be just to be sore. The goal of training is to complete the task at hand, and the goal of training is to succeed in the sport. So when you go into the gym every day, when you're doing your strength and conditioning work, stop adding in random shit just to add in random shit and start asking yourself, why am I doing this and how is it helping? And is this the most effective way to get the result that I'm looking for? And if the answer of why am I doing this is burnout set for mental toughness, stop, because there's only so often that whole mental toughness thing is legit. I hear people say it and I don't disagree. Pushing yourself every once in a while, going that little level above and beyond to, improve your mental toughness is great, but you don't need to do it every day. That shouldn't be the main focus of strength and conditioning work. The main focus of strength and conditioning work is building you up into the best possible athlete you can be to be able to physically match the demands of your sport. So focus on why you're doing things and focus on performing in the sport. Don't focus on how tired can I make myself before I drop. So nice short one today. That is it. That is all. I appreciate you all for tuning in. If you have any questions based off of anything that you heard on the show or any of the other episodes or just any training questions in general, make sure to drop me a message. Let me know and we can talk about them. But for now, that's it for the podcast today. I hope you got some value from it. If you did, make sure to follow me on social media. Make sure to subscribe to the show. And as always, make sure to share it around with a coach, with an athlete, with a teammate, with a friend, with someone who is going to benefit from this message. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'll catch you on the next episode.